We need members of the Senate who will tell Donald Trump that climate change is real and that we are going to save this planet by transforming our energy system in America. And I'm especially happy to be here on campus, and I want to tell you why that's so. Right now in America, as Jackie indicated, we have a corrupt political system. We have a government in Washington and its state capitals all over America that do not represent the middle class or working families, but represent the top 1% and wealthy campaign contributors. We have a situation where the Koch brothers and a handful of other billionaires are right now, as we speak, flooding airwaves in Nevada and all over this country with ugly 30-second ads because they want the United States government to protect their interests, not the needs of working families. And today we say to the 1% and to the billionaires that their greed has got to end, and that we need a government that represents all of us, not just the few. That's what this campaign is about. Now, the Republicans win elections when working people don't vote and when billionaires buy those elections. 4 years ago, in 2014, we had nationally the lowest voter turnout since World War II. A whole lot of working people and lower income people didn't vote. A whole lot of people of color did not vote. And a whole lot of young people did not vote. Our job in 2018 is to have the highest midterm voting. And you can do that as soon as we're finished right here by marching over to the Joe and casting your ballot. Now, I want to say a special word to the young people who are here. I have been all over this country, and in my view, the young people of this country, your generation, is the most progressive generation in the history of America. You are leading this country in the fight against racism, in the fight against sexism, in the fight against homophobia, and in the fight against religious bigotry. You understand, not just for yourselves, but for your kids and your grandchildren, that climate change has got to be combated, and we need to move to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. You know that. But all of your views and what you believe doesn't mean anything unless you get involved in the political process. So what we have now is a situation in Washington in where you have Trump and his Republican friends prepared to give a Do you really want to give $1 trillion in tax breaks to the 1%? Do you really want to throw 32 million Americans off the health care that they have? Brothers and sisters, our agenda is a little bit different. Unlike Republicans who haven't raised the minimum wage in this state for 10 years, we're going to fight to raise that minimum wage to a living wage, $15 an hour. And when we talk about wage fairness, we're going to do away with the absurdity of women making 80 cents on the dollar. And when we talk about women's rights, we know that it's not the government who's going to control a woman's body. It is the women themselves. And while we're here on this great campus, we say loudly and proudly that we are going to make public colleges and universities tuition free. And we are going to substantially lower student debt, which is such a burden for so many people. And when people tell us we can't afford to do that, well, we say that if Trump can give $1 trillion in tax breaks to the 1%, you're damn well sure we can make public colleges. And unlike Trump and his friends and Dean Heller, we're not going to throw millions off the health care they have. We're going to move toward a Medicare for all, single-payer program, and guarantee health care for all people. I want to give you some very good news. A few years ago, when I was on this campus, and I talked about the need to guarantee health care to all people, and I talked about Medicare for all, it was seen as a radical idea, an extreme idea. A poll just came out the other day. 70% of the American people now support Medicare for all.